When I see her backdrop, I was like, oh, this is fitting. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Playing haters, every minute wanna stop my dough. And every other minute wanna rock my flow. And every third minute, y'all wanna swerve in it. Quick like a
Look at all of these vlogs. Okay.
Yeah.
Natural girl power. How y'all doing?
I'm good, man.
All these
Throat messed up. Huh?
All these bad man pajamas.
That part.
Foxy asked him that.
Uh-huh. Hey, everybody joining us. Come on in. We have a great Coco Connect for you tonight. Where are my bad man pajamas?
Right here.
This was a jam.
Right.
Y'all remember as the intro that you can play that game?
This is the intro?
Well, the old
Yeah.
So how y'all been doing today? How are y'all?
I'm tired.
I know you just had a birthday. Happy birthday.
I still got my backdrop a little bit.
She's a bad man pajama too. That virtual party was all kinds of live.
Man, we had a ball.
Oh
got me sounding like a man now. What she say? She sounded like a man.
Oh man. Well, it was a great time. Elle, how you doing?
I'm okay. You know, just getting it all together.
Hey, but listen, I'm loving that door and that seat red combo.
This my salon. Usually I'm in the office, but today I'm in the salon.
Oh, because L, all things L.
L does it all.
L, what's all them Instagrams? L does it all by L.
Right.
L does it all.
L, Elated Creations. L does it all.
Beauty over ashes. Et cetera. It's one.
Hair by L.
L215. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then
it's about 7
of the Coco Bump Project team, which I'm so excited for you guys. So everybody who's tuning in, it's Alexia, your Coco Mom Evolved. We have a great Coco Connect for y'all tonight. We have this amazing, beautiful mompreneur, diva, all things glam, beauty, brains, all of that. Just all. She does it all too. She's another little she does it all.
Right.
Just let me give you guys a chance to say hello to everybody. Introduce yourselves again in case we got some new people on.
Hey, folks, you know who this is. This is T, your CBT Coco Mom.
Hey, everyone, it's Elle, your proud Coco Mom.
Yes, and our diva Coco Mom is taking the evening off, probably to do some diva-licious stuff like she does. But that's okay. Tonight, everybody, we are joined with the beautiful Shaquita Garcia. Mm-hmm. I knew that she was a model because I could just tell from her pages. But she's a model, wife, mom of 2, and the founder of Modern Housewives Co., which is a nonprofit organization geared towards promoting the mental health and wellness of moms all over the world.
Ooh.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
It just screamed like Coco collab.
It did.
Yep.
It did.
So she hails us. We've been following her page, everyone, on Instagram for quite some time. So we just wanted to bring her on to have a little bit of a conversation with us. So everybody say hello to Shaquita.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How are you, Shaquita?
Excuse me, I'm sipping on my tea because I got a little sore throat. But I am great. Thank you so much for having me. How are all of you?
I'm
great. Yeah.
Just inspired now. So I know our Coco Mom T asked you, but you got to share with us the backdrops that we got there. What are we looking at?
Yeah. Oh, baby, listen, I'm in a tiny New York apartment. So what you see here is where all of my gowns hang because I have no place to put them.
Ah, you're resourceful. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I love
Ooh.
it. I love how you incorporated that into, especially now that we're doing so much virtual stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, you probably get that question a lot too. Like, oh, what's that behind you?
Yes, especially this color for one here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
everybody always asks about that one. So, like I said, I'm in a small New York apartment, so I always have to do all my podcasts and everything in my bedroom because there's no place else to go.
I love it. So what is there a story behind that one?
um, no, just that it came from Amazon.
Oh, oh,
Listen,
here we go. There we go.
L, get yourself together, L.
Right.
I wasn't expecting that.
You wasn't expecting that one to hit the back of your throat.
Because you sound like me. I feel like I'm talking to myself.
Right. Right. See that? We knew it. We knew it would be great. Well, thank you so much, Shaquita, because we know it is Thanksgiving Eve, and while we celebrate Thanksgiving for the other memories and gratitude, not for the historical nature of it, we know that there's a lot going on. Are you prepping for Thanksgiving? Just curious. Just one question.
Yes, girl, I'm like literally stressed a little bit because I was on the phone with my granny about maybe 2 hours ago.
Okay.
And when she called, I was laying on the sofa and she was like, "Girl, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." And she's like, "You ain't started cooking yet?" And I was like, "No, I'm so tired." But I was like, I'm gonna get my butt up and get myself together. So I got my pies in the oven right now. So when
Mm.
we hang up, I'm gonna go and prep my turkey and I'm gonna make my candy yams. But everything else I'm gonna just do in the morning. I usually get up about 5 a.m. to cook everything. Uh,
Mhm.
so by noon, because my husband is like, the minute he smell that food cooking, he come just keep coming back. When it's done? When it's gonna be done? When it's gonna be? And it's like, this is Thanksgiving food. You can't just rush it.
Can't
So,
rush. Greatness.
so over the years, I learned that I had to get my dinner finished by noontime because he be ready to eat. So
I love that. And I saw that you were hyping up your husband too because he said something about like let's get dressed this year.
yes. So because we don't really have family here in New York, so most of the time we are having friends over for Thanksgiving, and it's like because we're home, he's like, "Oh well, I'm gonna just throw on jeans and a t-shirt. It's cool, whatever." So he was like, "I think we should get dressed this year," and I was like, "Well, you ain't said nothing but a word. Let me
But
go
you say,
to see what I got to put on."
but you say, take it on down.
Right, you're like, this from, I love it. I
That
love
pink one over your left shoulder looks perfect for Thanksgiving.
it.
Listen, I just put up a post about it today. It's me wearing it. I said this how I'm showing up to my dining room table for Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Oh,
That part.
I love it. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for encouraging those of us who were going to also be in sweatpants. To maybe try to throw on a little, even if it's just a bow tie or a neck scarf.
That's gonna restrict your chewing. You can't restrict it. You gotta put on some dress leggings. I got some dress leggings.
Listen, I'm a huge advocate about, when you dress well, you feel well.
That's
So
true.
that's literally a part of my self-care is, getting dressed every day. That's my thing. So I was going to get dressed regardless, but I'm like, now I'm even more pumped. So I'm putting in a little bit more effort because hubby about to slay. So I'm going to slay too.
A couple that slays together. Well, that's actually a good segue. I am actually going to kick it off to our CBT Coco Mom to get the conversation started with you because we know, got a lot to do. So we won't be before you long, as the preachers say.
That's right, as the preacher say, and don't say take your time because she gonna keep talking. But first, let me just tell you that I applaud you for getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and cooking dinner. I applaud anybody who's up now prepping and cooking because I don't cook, right? So when people say they not sleeping, and my grandmother used to get up through the night like baste a turkey every couple hours. But that's old school cooking. I ain't got it. If it don't go in the microwave, we ain't eating it.
That's me all day.
Speaking of eating and stuff, I saw that you had a hold on, I'm reading it from my phone. You guys did a bread and wine situation, right? And there's a quote in this article that says, at Modern Housewives magazine, we believe that self-care plays an essential role in a mother's mental health and wellness.
Mhm.
That is why we devote ourselves to the creation of motherhood communities and free talk space. That's dope, first of all. Second of all, do you have, so I know for me, like I've done nonprofit work for like almost 20 years, and we thrive on self-care, right? We talk
Mhm.
about self-care. I mean, it's not, in reality, it's not really put into practice because those jobs don't really allow you to take off to do it, but we
Right.
talk about it, right? And so was there a aha moment for you in your personal journey that made you want to make sure that that was one of the values that you had for your company?
Well, yes. So actually, my company was founded on that aha moment.
Mm,
So, like I said, I don't really have family here in New York City. So, when I gave birth to my son, I was a new mom and I was basically suffering from postpartum depression in silence.
mm,
So, there's like layers to it. When you bring up postpartum depression or anxiety to older generations like your mom or your grandma or whatever, to
mhm.
them that kind of thing is like, oh girl, just pray about it and you'll be
Right.
fine. And it's like, okay, well, no, I'm really going through something and I don't know how to navigate these waters.
Mhm.
So when I would turn to, them, it was kind of like, okay, well, yes, I'll pray about it, but I need more help than that. So then I was like, okay, well, let me try to see if there are any mom groups in New York City that I can attend to, try to see if I can lean on any of those moms or if they'll share stories with me and see if, we have similar experiences. But these groups that I was going to, I kind of felt like I don't want to say that I wasn't welcome. Like, I don't want to say that about them, but they were on the Upper East Side of Manhattan and it was kind of stuffy.
Mm.
I ended up being the only Black mom there. So it's like, not to say like I couldn't relate to them because they weren't Black, but it was like it gave me a different kind of feeling where I was just like, I'm not really sure if I'm even comfortable with this because nobody is extending themselves to me really.
Mm. Wow.
So I suffered a little bit more. And then once I got over my little hump, a friend of mine, her name is Shanetta, because I was struggling with breastfeeding as well, because my son was a cluster feeder, so I used to have like the dry cracked nipples. They used to bleed all the time. Every time he would cry
Mm,
because he was hungry, I would cry. So
mm,
I had just put up a post on Facebook and was like, I'm really struggling or whatever, but didn't go into too much detail. And she sent me a message and she was like, hey, if you need to talk, let me know. So I called her because I was desperate. I had nobody. She had
mm,
just given birth to her son, I think like 3 or 4 months before me.
mhm.
So that's when I spoke to her, that's when I realized like I was really like I had hit rock bottom at that point.
Mm,
I knew that I was battling postpartum depression, but I didn't know how to get out of it. I was in a dark, dark space. And what the words that she told me, like she always says that I give her too much credit for it, but she pulled me out of that darkness.
mm.
Wow.
She told me, and it's quote, if you need to supplement with formula, that does not make you a bad mom.
Yeah.
Man, that part. Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
the next day, I sent my husband out to get formula for my son. And when I tell you that the first feeding that he skipped, I felt better
Wow.
Yeah.
automatically.
Right.
And every single time I tell new moms that, and I thank her so much all the time for pulling me out of that space, because I had so many people in my ear, the doctors and family members, no, breastfeed, exclusively breastfeed. That's what's best for the baby. Yes, it is, but there are certain circumstances also. My son was a cluster feeder and he wasn't getting enough, and I needed to supplement in order for my body to catch up. That's what it was.
Mm,
Yeah.
And I needed to hear those words that if you are not exclusively breastfeeding, that does not make you a bad mom.
wow.
So
And
the
we,
way that she helped me, I was like, I have to help other moms because
wow.
for one, I don't like the fact that, all of these mom events, they're kind of like cliquish and, it's either all white moms or all Black moms. There's no like diversity.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'm gonna make Modern Housewives, and we're gonna have this big gigantic support group, and we're all gonna be fly, which we are.
You are.
That's right.
Yes, you are.
We're gonna be all inclusive, and we're gonna be supportive, and that's how Modern Housewives began. I was like, if I can help one mom not suffer in silence the way that I did, I'm gonna be okay. I'm good.
You knocked out about 4 or 5 of our questions.
That part, right
there. So
thanks for coming on the show.
Right.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out another one. I'm like, okay.
But I got to back up to several things that you said, but I'm going to start with the one that you just ended with, which is if I can help one mom to not feel alone, right? And so that is the mission of Coco Bump as well.com. And so while we did have a intentionality behind it, because of what you said before about, looking for that connection there for Black and brown moms, we also know that there's a major disparity in our community. And so the fact that you have created this space for everyone to be able to come in, to feel supported, just kudos to you for acknowledging the need and then moving forward for the need. The other thing that you said that I did put up there too, just so people know, but that if you do not exclusively breastfeed, you are still a great mom. Yeah. We do have some breastfeeding snobs out there. Yes. And let me tell you, we do it to ourselves. We do it to others. And listen, we understand the benefits that come with breastfeeding. But if you are a mom who's suffering, trying to do it, like you said, you got to give yourself that grace to be able to do that. L or T, what do you guys, what's your take on just these few pieces of gems that Shaquita has shared with us so far?
Yeah,
I think the whole thing about supporting moms who aren't able to 100% like exclusively breastfeed, I think that's a big thing in our community. Just because a lot of people in the older generation, they did breastfeed, and they're like, you're gonna breastfeed, right? You're gonna breastfeed, right? And so as a mom who exclusively breastfeeds and have had some struggles along the way, to the point where like I had to get my cousin to ship me milk from Maryland because, I didn't have enough for my daughter and I really wanted to exclusively breastfeed. I think having someone in your corner to understand that, like, if you're not able to do it, and if it comes to your detriment, right? If it's to the point where like it's becoming so stressful and you're so overwhelmed that you can't even give the best care to your child, you have to do what you have to do. And if it means that you have to give your child a little bit of supplementation, that's okay. I think creating that space is amazing, and having someone close to you, because you have all these other people, all these other like thoughts and perceptions of what it is to breastfeed and to feed your child. Just understanding that like it doesn't have to be 100% breastfed. It can be supplementation. It can be whatever you get out is what you get out. So just creating that atmosphere of support in our community, I think that's really, really like a great thing that you're doing.
Thank you.
I agree. So the friend of yours that gave you those words of wisdom, as simple as they may seem to her, like you said, they brought you out. Yeah. And the first time you got that break, because that's really what it was. The first time you gave yourself a break and some grace, you were able to kind of pull yourself out of that depression. And I think that means a lot to those who are tuning in. And so it's a good segue too into another question that I had around those who are subscribing to the Modern Housewives magazine, the movement, the nonprofit, all of that. You said why it was designed. So just share again, like, who is that for? Just so that we're clear, who is this designed in mind for?
Honestly, it's for all moms, but I like to be inclusive, but I put an emphasis on Black moms. I'm not ashamed to say it because I am a Black mom. And I feel like, the resources for us are scarce. Even when I think about giving birth to my daughter just 1 year ago, and all of the things that took place like during that birthing experience, and I knew that those things happened to me because I was Black. And I just want Black moms to have a publication or even just a space or outlet in general where they can come for resources and they can have, you know, women on the cover who look like them. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen my other covers, but there are moms with their children on the covers of the magazines. That's not something you see every day. And again, my publication is kind of like a self-care moment within itself, because you come to get your hair done, you come to get your makeup done, you come to get styling done, you come to get your pictures taken. Like, all of these things are really meant to make you feel good about yourself and about being a mother. Because again, on the day-to-day, I mean, from hour to hour, we're going through stuff. Like, you know, the day can start out great, and then by 5 o'clock, you're like, oh my God, this was a shitty ass day.
Yeah.
Especially when you getting up at 5 o'clock.
Modeling, and everything else you got going on.
That's too much.
It's a lot, but it shows that you know, like you said, there is an emphasis there, but the space is there for everyone. And I think what's interesting, especially for those of us who are running Black-owned businesses, we never put a barometer or a barrier, right? We never try to explain the primarily white-owned businesses or Caucasian or Asian, right? There's no, well, it is Asian-owned, but you know, everyone, it is what it is.
Yeah. Right.
The more we see our businesses take their rightful space in these different industries, it's just like any other one. It's not just that it's a Black-owned business. I mean, that's important to know, especially if you're being intentional about, you know, who you're patronizing. But it's a business nonetheless, and everyone is welcome if you want. But you just need to know this is kind of what we're here to do, to lift up.
What the focus is,
What the focus.
You know what? I do have to add to that, because last year I did a mom's giving last November, and it was one of my bigger events because I had partnered with a wine and cheese seller here in the city. And it was a very it was a great moment for me because we did like a gift exchange, and all of the moms, they were just like exchanging business cards, and you know, the gift exchange just went so well. Like, there were tears flowing. Like, it was great. But when I looked around the room, the melanin was
limited.
It was not. It was the majority. And I said, this is the complete opposite of what I had experienced the year prior. And I felt so proud about it, because I a part of me was thinking, like, where are all the Black moms in New York City? Like, why is it that every event I go to, there's only 1 or 2 Black moms? And I feel like that was the reason why, because every event they would go to, they would be the minority.
Right.
My events have actually, they've turned the page, and I'm happy about it. I don't want someone else to feel like the minority, but I'm happy that I have created this space for us.
Yeah,
we love it. And thank you to Laura Diaz Alberto, who is chiming in from Facebook. Thank you so much to one of our other Coco moms, Mikeia. She is a proud owner and founder and owner of Acom Essentials, a wonderful beauty and skincare line, essentially. So we had her on talking about self-care on another one of our sisters.
She said she cooking too.
Yeah, she was cooking. She said she's preparing her food now. And so that's key. That's important. We thank you so much for sharing that. T or L, you have any other questions, anything else for Shaquita?
No, man, I think the only thing I want to say is a thank you. You know, thank you for creating that space for moms and for women. And I think the more that the conversations are had, the more it'll become like the norm for a lot of people. So, you know, just thank you for taking your personal experience and your personal journey and creating something so profound for moms to know that they don't have to suffer silently. I feel like that as moms, we suffer silently in so many different compartments of our lives. And so for you to kind of hit um, on that one piece, right, of self care for moms and saying that it's okay to not be okay. It's
Right.
okay to know that you are still enough, even when society tells you that if your the capacity of your breastfeeding kind of determines that. And we know that that's not true. So
Right.
thank you for using your voice and your platform to kind of knock those myths off the mountains and know and let us know that it's okay and you're not alone. So thank you.
And
Well,
I
thank
also
you.
think in the last thing that you were saying about how you partnered with someone else, that actually speaks volumes, right? Because a lot of times, as Black-owned businesses, we feel like I'm in this by myself. I'm doing this for my community. I have to do it alone, right? But in partnering, we were able to see that it was a grander event, and it turned out it was way more than you could have ever thought about. So I thank you for bringing up that point, because a lot of times, and don't get me wrong, it comes from like history of like us
Yep.
not wanting to work together or feeling like there's not enough space for all of us to win.
Right.
And so you partnering with this one wine and cheese company, you were able to see that like the partnership actually made the event bigger and better than you could have ever thought of. And I thought that that was a great thing that you brought that up. And I wanted to bring that out and just share that with the other ladies who may be watching, because there is power in community, right?
Yeah.
Having that community and having that relationship with other people, because you never know where it can take you once you start partnering up and just kind of making a larger, more global initiative.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I wanted just to jump in there, Elle, for what you just said. It made me think about, I don't know, it was one of our other Coco Connects, and someone mentioned that it should be oh man, gosh, I lost it. But it's not a competitor. It's a companion, not a competitor.
Oh, okay. Yep. It's
Yeah.
not a competition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a competition, and folks can be companions, and it's so L right on time with that one of bringing out that component of community.
Yeah. Yeah. We had Katoma Malu on the beginning of the
Yeah,
month.
yeah,
She was on Project Runway season 5. She's an international designer, all of that. And one of the things that she said was that to find something that makes you glow. She said
yeah,
a lot of things, but whether it's pregnancy or otherwise, find something that makes you glow. And it is clear that you are glowing, that your
absolutely.
momhood, your wifehood, your businesshood, all of it is making you glow. And so we are so appreciative of your shine.
Yeah.
And for shining with us. So with that, if you could let people know how because you're also an author. So how can we stay in touch with you? How can we subscribe to the magazine? All of that stuff. Like, where should we keep in contact? We have your Instagram here, but what else can we do to stay connected?
So you can find so my website is modernhousewivesco.com. So there you will find all of the issues of the magazine that you can read, which they're going to be available on Amazon if you did want imprints. That's coming soon. But if you just wanted to read digitally, that it's totally free for that. So it's on modernhousewivesco.com. So also I have my blog there, which I haven't updated in a bit because
That's okay. You're busy.
these babies, they just be doing the most. But I'm like, that's actually the whole purpose of me having the blog, so that I can share those moments. So I'm gonna get on that again soon. But yeah, so all the information you would need to know about the organization is there. And then my book is also on Amazon, which I wrote about my little 3-year-old. It's called The Chronicles of Baby Nelson. So it's a lot of FML moments. It's a comedy. So basically, it's just, his journey into toddlerhood and kind of a mix of FML moments and children say the darndest things kind of situations. So yes, that's available on Amazon. So yeah, that's about it. And then Instagram, I'm at the MHW magazine.
We are so excited. Thank you so much. Congratulations to everything that you're doing. We are definitely staying in contact. We're following, subscribing, all of that. And we
Thank
want to be a
you.
part of your journey as well. So we'll be in touch. Coco Buff will
Thank
definitely
you.
be in touch.
Thank you.
And let me
And I
know if
wanna
you need a fluffy model with a 161-month-old.
listen. Not 161.
I like to count my baby in months too. So I feel left out. Everybody's like 18 months, 12 months, 9
Oh
months,
my
not
God.
161 months.
Okay, in years.
She about 13 and a half.
Okay. Thank you. Because I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
Right, carry the
My
one.
fingers.
Because that's how us moms with the older kids be. We say, well, how old is your baby? Oh, she's 22 months. I'm like, oh, she's almost 2. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. So, I figured I put mine in months too.
Oh, thank you. That's funny.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Shaquita. For those who were able to tune in, we will have this up on our sister podcast site as well. You'll find it here. It'll be on the website, Instagram. You know where you can find us. T, let everybody know where they can find us.
Man, you guys already know. You can find us on Instagram at Coco Bump _. You can find us on Facebook, CocoBump.com. And that just so happens to be the website too. So go ahead and check us out. Join the community. Subscribe to the community on Facebook. Subscribe online. And yeah, peace, love, and hair grease to you.
We are so excited. We always like to, well, in different atmospheres, it's always good to have a quote. So I found one as I was digging around on your website. And I thought it was very befitting considering the energy that you brought to us tonight. And it says, I have the power to put every color, shape, size woman on the cover. Women just like me, real everyday moms, because we are all supermodels.
Listen.
Y'all about to make me cry.
That sounds good when you hear it back, don't it? When you hear your own words come back to you.
Let me tell you, like, it literally, and I don't know if y'all got time. You got time for a story?
We got time. We got Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop.
Right. Turn it down. Come on, story
Right.
time.
Okay. So for years and years, I have been trying to be a model for a long time, I would say. Back in the day, I don't know if y'all ever heard of Barbizon.
I actually
So my dad took me there to speak with an agent or whatever, and I mean, I was a little bitty thing. I think I was maybe a size 0. They told me I was too hippie, I was too short, and I'm sure I was too black. But basically they were like, yeah, well, you can pay for us to, show you how to walk or whatever, but you probably won't ever be who you want to be in the modeling industry. So truth be told, that's how I ended up becoming a fashion designer, because I was like, that's the next best thing. I truly want to be a model, but they told me I can't. So
wow.
I'm going to be a designer. So that's how that happened. And then once I gave birth to my son, I started to kind of tap into my body a little bit more. I don't know. It's something about motherhood that just kind of makes you feel more sexy. I don't know what it is, but I started going for it. I was just like, forget it. I'm 5 feet tall. I don't care. I'm going to go on these auditions and I'm going to see where it takes me. So I started getting booked for, a lot of smaller companies and, some TV commercials here and there. And then I got a call for Vogue. And when I tell y'all, the nerves was shot, I was like, oh my Lord Jesus, am I going to slay this audition? I don't know, but I'm going to go and I'm going to do it. So I went and I did it. I got the email that they were booking me. And I mean, I was screaming to the rooftops. I even put a post up on Facebook. And then I never heard from them again.
What?
Wait a minute. I wasn't prepared for that.
Right. I was like, yeah.
Didn't happen.
Go ahead. Hold on, we listening. Go ahead.
It didn't happen. they ghosted me. I kept emailing like, hey, I'm just following up, and nothing ever happened with it. So that broke me down because I was like, here I was thinking like, oh my God, this was my big break. Now I'm going to be published in this magazine and I'm going to be great. I'm going to be exactly what they said I couldn't be. And then I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to put myself on the cover of my own magazine.
You hear me?
Come on, Oprah. Come on, Oprah.
So that's what I did. And then I said, I'm going to put all the other ladies on the cover of the magazine too.
Why not?
Yes.
Praise them.
Why not?
Yep.
Well,
Rogue wasn't ready anyway. They wasn't ready.
You know what? God works in mysterious ways. Now you got, 3 new models. Also.
Right. And I'm 4'11", so let's go.
Right.
And Elle is about 5'2".
Right. Well, she's about 4'11". And
I was trying to give her a little bit in front of company.
Oh, no.
We got company.
Laura said, no, she can't.
She got some platforms, though, that make her about 5 feet.
Listen, it don't matter.
We right here off of 95. We right here off
do
of
whatever. That's the thing. We're not getting ready to be, trying to, because that was the one thing too that I just couldn't stand. And people, you got to be 5'8" to 6 feet, and I'm like, who are these people? Like,
right. or this size,
yes,
or this, or all of this.
We take you as you are, and bring your kids too, because we slapping them on the cover too.
I love it. This was we needed this. We needed this story. Whoever needed to hear this, somebody needed to hear this.
Hello, somebody.
So that when they don't give you a seat at the table and you make your own table.
That part.
Own table.
You take that note and create your own, yes.
No, that's for you. And I'm not going to say your name, but I hope you still on here watching.
When you say, Elle, that message was for somebody. It was for somebody.
We'll pass the collection plate around. Don't worry about it, Shaquita.
My cash app is
right. We get you all the coin. And while the seats at the table, like you're creating this table, you see all these other women who are gonna pull their chair up right with you, and we're gonna support one another. I'm look at that. We needed that.
Because I don't eat cheese, but I like wine. So
listen, I'm telling you, I never have been more passionate about something in my life. It's a way for me to combine my ultimate passion, which is modeling, and motherhood. So even a few months ago, I did a wellness event for moms, and I taught them how to pose and how to model. So I did a full-on photo shoot for them, and they got actual pictures, and I published them in the magazine. So it was rewarding for me for them to come back and say, like, wow, I've never seen myself look like this before. Wow. But it's like, this is it. I don't make no money from Modern Housewives, and it's what gets me out of the bed every single morning.
That's how you know it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Because I'm like, I can't have someone else suffering the way that I did. It's just hard for me to do. I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we stand in agreement with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for following your gift and your purpose. Thank you for being resilient. Thank you for being proud. Thank you for evolving. You represent what each of us bring to Coco Bump in our own individual businesses every day. We want to make sure that we support you. So we are along for the journey. We at the table with you. Whatever you need, we are here to continue to glow up. All of that great stuff.
Oh my God! So y'all know y'all stuck with me now. Y'all my sisters now.
Let me tell you, Shaquita. We Velcro, right? We Velcro. Once you mess with us, you stuck with us.
Ain't none of it. Ain't none of that.
Listen, we got microderm and masks and hand sanitizers. Where you need us to go? Where you need us to go, sis? We here.
We here.
I got an easy pass and everything. I like to go through toll.
I told you. We're Philly and DMV area, so we're not far. One of our other Coco moms is from Brooklyn.
Oh my
I think she's there
God.
right now, as a matter of fact, picking up some ribs or something. I don't know. But anyway, but the
Right, I
women,
need somebody to give me one of them mixed CDs. They still selling the CDs.
okay. So on that note, we want to thank everybody. Shaquita, you stick with us a little while longer, but thank you to everybody else who is tuning in on Facebook. You see, the Coco Connect is no joke. We have had an amazing past few weeks. Again, we have had Shaquita Garcia on, now editor-in-chief of Modern Housewives magazine. A couple weeks ago, we had Kato Mamalu,
Mm-hmm.
fashion designer, international fashion designer, who was on Project Runway. Next
I
week,
love her.
we have yes, we have the beautiful Salima on. She's going to be blessing us with and thanks to Elle for introducing us to her. But she's an amazing, phenomenal woman in the area of mental health and counseling, specifically with moms, and helping us through. So we are about healing and support. That's
That's
what we're
part.
supporting
Yes.
Mother Bump and Beyond. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Bye, everybody.